Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Caffeinated or Die. My name, of course, is Antoine the Great, and I have been joined by my normal co-host, Sparky from Sparky's Tech Corner. And wait, you got rid of the other channels, right?
I've still got two of them. One's been gone. I just don't use anything on them.
All right, so Sparky from Sparky's Tech Corner and whatever fucking channels are in the links. And Anti-Hero Broadcast, how's it going, guys?
I am sorry to explain this to you, but Anti-Hero Broadcast will not be present this morning. Taking over him in the new seat is Alex Alexson.
Son of a bitch, he told me he was going to be here.
Unfortunately, he was attacked by a small army of bedbugs and is currently fighting them off with homemade flamethrowers.
How big are the bedbugs?
Larger than expected.
He's a stormtrooper, starship trooper that... Oh, fuck, I can't talk this morning.
Well, service does in fact guarantee citizenship.
Jesus Christ, Sparky, killing jokes already?
I wasn't trying to kill a joke. I just couldn't say it.
Alright, well, let's do our normal thing. Let's say hello to the people in the chat. How's it going, Sarah? We got Jacob is here. Jake Pearson said he's not going to be here, though, so he can fuck right off. Ben Cooper, how's it going? The legendary henchman. Zar's here. Onvir. And Gulf City Fright Supremacist. Good morning, everyone. Oh, God, I almost didn't make it this morning.
I have heard that a certain reading material did, in fact, find its way to your doorstep.
Yes.
Antoine.
Yes. Just to let you know, Ben, the book did get here, so I have talked to the Snarkness army, and we are deciding to do a cringe read this week on Army of Snarkness. What do I call them? Do I call them the Snarkies? That sounds stupid.
Is that, in fact, this week?
Yes, this week. We are going to be... Now, Army of Snarkness has changed time slots. Now, there are a couple of reasons why, but it's going to be Thursdays at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time instead of Mondays. Now, what this does is this allows a couple of our more favorite YouTubers to possibly join the show. So we'll see what goes on with that. But apparently, Sarah, who is on the Army of Snarkness, has said about time we got some professionalism. So I guess they're happy that you're here, Alex.
Well, this is a news broadcast, and I am a newscaster extraordinaire.
So good. I'm glad. What are you doing on this show?
I am currently what you might call a freelancer.
Okay. I got it.
So does this mean I can actually come on Army of Snarkness now?
It does. If you ever pull your core out of your ass and decide to show up.
Well, Mondays are busy for me.
I don't want to know what you do on Mondays. That's what you do in your off time is your own personal business. I mean, I don't want to know. So yeah, I'm going to be reading from Lena Dunham's book. Yeah. And I've read some excerpts already, and my brain decided it wanted to try and fall out of my head. So instead of taking all of the time for the Army of Snarkness, we are going to have the trio read a book as well. And Sarah is looking for a book, and it's going to be a cringe fest. We're going to read 3 of the cringe. We're each going to get about a half hour, and we're going to read just some of the cringiest fucking things we can possibly think of. If the chat likes it, we may do it monthly. Who knows? Like a monthly book club.
There is a rumor going around that the book being read by Antihero and the trio is in fact the worst sort of erotica.
Yes, it is going to be an age-restricted stream.
Well, you're reading 50 Shades?
That's... I mean... Oh, God. I don't know if I'm going to read all of Lena Dunham's book, but I am promising someone, he is in the chat, Gulf City Fright Supremacists, that I am still going to be reading 50 Shades of Grey. I'm looking at my shelf right now, and they are just sitting there. I have all 3 of them.
This says more about you than it does about our chat.
No, because Gulf City Fright Supremacists, I don't know if he wants me to let people know the person I know him as, paid for me to read 50 Shades of Grey a long time ago, and I have not been able to get to it. Andrea says, I miss the Antoine reads episodes. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to... There's only so much time in the day, and now that I have a job that I cannot do things while I'm at work, it really limits what I can do for the rest of the day.
Remember, audience and those in the chat, that this is the very same man, beast, demon, creature, whatever you wish to call him, that took roughly 3 weeks to make a 10-minute show about Penoid.
That video was 20 minutes long.
My point remains.
I call bull hockey because someone was able to watch my entire game stream on Wednesday for the whole entire 4 hours.
Outed.
I do not have YouTube Red, so I can't do that.
Well, I guess that explains it.
So when my phone decides it wants to shut down because it's not being touched to save power, it shuts that off. Now, listening to you yammer on about a game is different than what I used to be able to do while I was at work. Where I am, streaming would be almost impossible. So just unless you want to hear nothing but power tools and lasers and people screaming and cries as sharks are devouring people.
That would be interesting.
I'm sure it would be. The problem is I don't get good reception. So,
well, I guess there's nothing we can do about that.
Well,
you could bootleg the internet, but
I do believe the time for chit-chat is over, and we should now move on to the news.
Well, I haven't asked what's been going on in the week, but, all right, we'll get to it. You want to get to your stories, I assuming.
No, I just feel that we should be using some sort of structure.
Have you not seen this show?
No, I do no research before coming on to a new show. Of course I've seen it.
Then there's no real structure. We talk about structure. We have a basic generalization. All right, here we go. 5 crazy recent news stories that didn't get enough attention. Now, Alex, Antihero sent me this. Would you like to take the read from him?
Yes, that is what I was in fact hired to do. We'll
okay.
start on story number 5. The government said it has mysterious alloys recovered from UFOs. 2 Pulitzer Prize-winning reporters made public some fascinating footage captured by military pilots of the unidentified flying object zipping across the skies, making sharp turns and occasionally hovering like a helicopter, and all with no visible signs of propulsion. With the internet as it is, we should have been drowned in stories about how Independence Day predicted the future or whatever. The footage is odd for sure. Well, it makes up 0.5% of the craziness within the New York Times article that it came from. The article says that between 2007 and 2012, there was something called the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program running out of the Pentagon, where at least one employee had the X-Files theme as their ringtone, and their coworkers hated them for it. Not unlike the time I had Dan Rather's late-night theme as my ringtone for everything. Their task was to investigate mysterious aerial phenomena. While there was a good chance they'd rip a stamp that read, "It's just another damn drone from Walmart," so it's right all the time. The AATIP's creator, former Senator Harry Reid, fought to secure the program's findings, fearing that the United States would be helpless to defend itself from technologies it discovered. That's the kind of shit you say to keep Magneto in a plastic cell underground, which I am told is a reference to X-Men, which I have not seen, as I do not partake in such frivolous films.
The very first one wasn't bad. The second one was really good. The third one was shit, and then they pretty much fucked it up. That's all you need to know.
Right. Luis Elizondo, the former head of the ATIP, referenced the many accounts from the Navy and other services of unusual aerial systems, interfering with military weapon platforms and displaying beyond next-generation capabilities. And most of the program's $22 million budget over 5 years went to an aerospace technology company owned by a billionaire named Robert Bigelow, who 100% believes aliens have visited Earth. And that brings us to the pant-shitting part.
So,
under Mr. Bigelow's direction,
I was going to say, do you think that they just gave him the tip? A tip, 30, yeah, just go on.
I will wait for your sophomore attempts at humor to be done.
No, I'm done. That's the joke.
Under Mr. Bigelow's direction, the company modified buildings in Las Vegas for the storage of metal alloys and other materials that Mr. Elizondo and program contractors said had been recovered from unidentified aerial phenomena. Researchers also studied people who said they experienced physical effects from encounters with the objects and examined them for any physiological changes. Ah, okay. So, what the fuck? Is it just a rash or a headache? These people district 9ing and morphing to new species should be shot in the head. I, for one, believe that no one should be shot in the head without due process first. Live Science tried debunking some of the article's claims by asking scientists and professors what they thought about it. Their grand conclusion is that there is no way an alloy could be identified. Thanks, guys. Excellent observation. There's no way there are things out there that we don't know is some shit-ass expertise. Much like this writing. They didn't even try explaining the claim that the alloys are physically affecting people who interact with them, and it's hard to blame them. If I think about it for a second, my brain goes to scary places that make me want to hide under bed and cry. Not me. I am Alex Alexson. I have been to many war zones and am no longer frightened by normal occurrences.
It's
the whole article
it's just the women that look like men, right?
Those are not nearly as frightening as you might think once you've had a few drinks. The whole article makes it seem like there are a lot of high-ranking government officials who are certain aliens are real, that they have visited us, and we should probably fear what they might try to do to us. So on a day-to-day basis, you should feel a tinge of anxiety about your career, the well-being of your children, whether democracy will hold in America, and maybe also aliens with their poisonous ship junk.
So, I mean, the alloy is affecting people, is what I'm getting from this.
Some sort of physiological effects, yes.
You know, I've only visited Vegas a couple of times, but I don't remember getting into a secret bunker with unidentified aerial phenomena and their leavings, I guess you could call it. But I do agree that the explanation of that there's nothing out there that we don't know, that's some bullshit. A little bit of bullshit. I agree with Draconath. Sounds like a bad scientist. Alright, moving on. I mean, I don't care about aliens. It's not like they're going to do anything to me anyway.
It's probably because they've already done it.
I have not been abducted. You can't prove that I have. Fermion says there are two possibilities. We are alone or we're not. I don't want to think that we're alone.
No, all I think I do is just cross the southern border.
Wrong type of aliens, Sparky.
Not necessarily. as any alien crossing through our aerospace and landing on our terra firma would in fact not have gone through proper governmental channels, and would therefore still be an illegal alien.
Yes, but you're not wrong.
This would of course mean they'd be eligible for welfare, and any children they had on our soil would immediately become American citizens.
Do not give them ideas. Don't give them ideas. Someone's gonna tweet that out, and it's gonna be a thing. So Onvir says there probably is alien life with the sheer massive size of the universe taken into account, which I do believe. I just doubt that they would take any interest in humans. Look, I hate to say this, Onvir, but you humans are actually fascinating creatures. You don't go by any statistics whatsoever. There's always something out there that basically is against the norm of what you're supposed to be doing. So that one little tiny percentage that isn't supposed to occur, it's only supposed to occur once in every 150 million times. There are more often than not a human out there that will make that choice. I'm trying to understand why. And unfortunately, it's... what are you doing, Sparky?
I'm having fun.
Why don't you interact with the goddamn chat instead of...
I am interacting with the chat.
What? Why are you posting lyrics?
It's because Romeo said Sparky the hero. So I'm posting lyrics from the hero.
Alex, do you see what I put up with? This is what goes on. Trying to create a good morning show, and then I have to decide he wants to post fucking lyrics in the chat instead of interact.
Hey, I am interacting with the chat.
You know,
this seems to be a management problem, and as I am only a freelancer holding down a chair, this is not my problem to fix.
I'm not saying you need to fix it. I'm just pointing out that it happens. Do you want to go on with the next one? So Sparky can stop killing the joke.
What joke?
I had assumed it was either Sparky's turn or your turn.
Sparky doesn't read.
Sort of round robin, if you will.
I don't read because my voice sucks and I'm kind of bad at reading.
Well, no,
Right.
no, there is a voice that Sparky can do that actually he sounds amazing when he does it. He just has to get really close to his microphone to do it.
You mean this voice?
There you go. You need to wake up the chat, Sparky. Hit them with some sexual chocolate.
Yeah.
Well, you don't. All right, I'll fucking read it then.
Is it this one? Number 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, look, Kadanta's asking for it.
Oh God. And I knew he was gonna kill me.
Probably.
A man spent years building his own submarine, then allegedly used it to brutally murder a journalist.
Wait, is that why Antihero's not here?
Well, Alex Alexson kind of told us the reason why he wasn't. I kind of believe it. Sounds like something an anti-hero would do.
Yeah. All right, go for it. Keep reading.
Every once in a while, a sensational murder case, usually involving an attractive female victim, will always take over the country for months. This case is weirder than every one of those combined, and nobody cared. Peter Madsen had been building his own 55-foot submarine for years. We even wrote about his efforts back in 2010. Kim Wall was a freelance journalist who was just another in a long line of document Peter's impressively productive wastes of time. This sounds like the start of a quirky indie film, but it's fucking not. She set up an interview in 2 hours test ride for August 10th, 2017. After the 2 hours were up, Wall's boyfriend got suspicious that he hadn't heard from her, so he called the police. Madsen was later rescued from his sinking submarine off the southern coast of Copenhagen without Wall, unless the passenger reveals their true Kraken form. It's weird to return to shore with fewer people than when you left. Manson claimed that he dropped her off onshore hours earlier, which doesn't quite align with the fact that her torso was found at sea days later. At a pre-trial hearing a couple of weeks later, Manson testified that he buried Wall at sea after she was killed by a blow to the head from a 155-pound submarine hatch. Ah, the classic, she was murdered by the submarine, not me defense. This did not hold up, as forensics found that her skull had no fractures and her throat had been either cut or strangled when she died. More of her body parts started washing up, and then concluded that her limbs had been forcibly removed with a saw, and then stuffed into plastic bags that were weighed down with metal pipe. She had also been stabbed 15 times. Madsen's trial is in the way, and maybe is not getting any attention because everybody thinks that they already know who did it. If so, doesn't the fact that a man allegedly spent years building a murder submarine specifically so he could do this seems worthy of notice? Why in the hell does it take to get to capture the national image these days, or imaginations these days? Yeah, I did it.
Well done, Sparky. Well done. You need to do that voice more often.
Yeah, I've been told that. Problem is the way my boom mic is mounted, and I lean over to the microphone, I can't wholly see the fucking screen.
Well, that's why you lower the boom mic. You drop the mic, Sparky. That's what you do. I agree with Fermion, and I'm glad he picked up on it. We interrupt Caffeinated to Die for some Tats Tops videos. See, look, Draconath enjoys the voice as well, and Kadant gave you a standing ovation.
No, thank you.
So, all right. So I guess. Oh, of course, I get number 3. Son of a bitch.
Is this software you, Antoine?
No. No way you can prove that. All right, number 3. There is now software that can put any real person into porn videos, including your own mom, or both or your own mom, or both.
I'm gonna shoot Ben Cooper down right now. No, I don't have the book, so I can't.
You got his attention.
I am willing to bet that $300 would change your mind.
Yeah, but I don't have $300.
Anyway, let's move on.
$300, I would have shot Dan Rather in the knees.
Well, you are broke. All right, the future is now. Sadly, it's only for creeps who want to jerk off to fake Scarlett Johansson porn. Sparky, I didn't know this article was about you.
Wait, I don't even like Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, you say that now. The technology that's making it possible is called deep fake. It's an AI-driven software that can swap out a person's face and video footage with someone else's. Sparky.
Don't
Sparky.
even me.
Sparky. You're the
What?
only other AI out there. You're the one that's fucking doing this. Why?
Don't even look at me. I'm not the one that could drop from program to program and change it.
Sometimes it's convincing. Other times it looks like their heads are painfully phasing in and out of reality. That's how you get a Raiders of the Lost Ark starring Nicolas Cage. I'm actually going to play this video. It's like 42 seconds. No one can hear it. It's fine. We're just waiting to see Nicolas Cage in the robes. That's not bad.
There he goes again, doing another face-off.
I wouldn't call it Sparky.
And just like that, Sparky lives up to his reputation and puts 2 in the back of the head of yet another joke. Humor comes here to die.
You're not wrong. It's also how you ruin the joke of an SNL sketch starring Nicolas Cage. I'm not playing that one. But mostly it's for porn. Because of course it is. I don't know if you all know this, but porn is the reason we have most of the technological advances that we have today. Porn is the reason we have VHS. It's also the reason we have DVDs. It's also the reason we have, LCD screens. And it's also the reason we have HD TV. So stop dissing on porn and give it its credit where credit's due. And like all purists popular among sad, lonely men, and sad, lonely women for that fact, it was very popular on Reddit. Luckily, Reddit banned the deepfake subreddit not long after it was created. A bold moral stance for a site that lures you in with memes and then knocks you out with a 1-2 punch of white supremacy and misogyny, because of course they do. Bans on other big platforms like Discord, Twitter, and even Pornhub soon followed, even though the underlying technology still exists for free on the internet. Yes. I mean, I get that they don't want people to put Nicolas Cage in porn or Scarlett Johansson in porn, but I don't see the harm in it. Does anybody see the harm in it?
Let's put Antoine's face in porn.
I saw a picture that Anti-Hero drew. I don't have a choice in the fact that that I am in the public spectrum. So if anybody wants to use my face for something like that, I really don't have a choice. What's odd is that once it was banned across multiple sites, we've reverted back to the pre-deepfakes mindset, as if we don't all live in the prologue of a new world where Donald Trump's rumored P-tape might surface and the mere existence of deepfakes would be enough for his supporters to call bullshit. We might one day look back at people on subreddit putting Taylor Swift's face on a porn star as innocent compared to a future in which a murderer whose face was clearly captured by security footage gets off scot-free because of the plausible deniability of deepfakes. That's getting a little... are you fucking kidding me? That's getting a little crazy.
Oh, no, I got it. I got the most perfect feign of all time. Swap out Antoine's face and Smuckle's face for the girls and 2 girls, 1 cup.
Sparky, I will hurt you. It's a scary future where documented proof could be brushed away with a simple, "That's not me, that's a fake." A deep fake winks at camera. Also, it means literally every woman who posts her face on the internet will wind up in a fake porn video sex tape at some point. So there's that too. Really? it's so they put them in an actual physical porn instead of the demented spank bank. But I don't think it's going to be every woman. I mean, Spectre likes Lena Dunham, but we don't want to see that shit in porn, so I can't actually argue against not having deepfakes around. Look, Raz says because of your joke killing, Raz said he had to build an incinerator for all of the dead jokes because he ran out of places to dig a hole, and he lives in Canada. He lives in a place with so much fucking space that he could have infinitely buried jokes. You've killed that many, Sparky.
It's not enough. I'm sorry. I must have more blood and carnage.
All right. Well, let's go on to this next one, shall we? Do you want to read it in your super sexy voice, Sparky, or do you want me to read it?
I'd say Alex Alexson.
No, he doesn't want to do that one. He wants to do.
He doesn't want to.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, go ahead, Sparky. Go for it. No, I agree, dog. There's no harm or benefit to it. It's just something that happened. It's what's the fucking point?
You really want me to read this article in my low tone voice? Really?
Why not?
It's kind of demented. Okay.
If you don't want to read it, Sparky, I'll read it. It's fine.
Well, you go ahead and read it. It just seems a little too cringeworthy for me to do that voice on this. I'll read it normally.
They want to hear the voice, Sparky.
Oh, god damn it. Okay. I warned you. A swatting prank finally got someone killed. You know what's real gut-busting jokes that always leaves the audience rolling in the aisles? When a SWAT team charges into an innocent person's home with a shotgun and semi-automatic rifles drawn, intent on killing someone if it meant stopping a hostage situation, all based on a tip obtained from a prank phone call. My sides, the sheer terror everyone involved must feel is making me pee a little. If you don't think it's funny, then you're not one of the many filmmakers who've performed this prank. Because they've yet to develop a tangible feel on how utterly screwed their lives will be if the 911 call is traced back to them. The targets tend to be Twitch streamers, since a SWAT team's entrance can turn an Overwatch stream into the drug raid scene from Goodfellas. Dozens of celebrities have also been swatted, like Miley Cyrus, Tom Cruise, and Clint Eastwood. Many of these people, who were lucky to not have been killed. SWAT teams have a long, horrific history of killing innocent people and or their dogs during raids. In case you needed a cartoonish, ghoulish detail to further turn your stomach. In an era where the media will drum up a moral panic over everything from violent video games to eating Tide Pods, you think this swatting thing would have been the subject of several congressional hearings by now, especially since in December 2017, a swatting prank ended with someone dead. Like every human who would have heard of swatting would know eventually what happened. Some random guys had placed a bet on the outcome of a Call of Duty World War II multiplayer match. An argument broke out, and one of the participants decided to get his
just desserts by having a SWAT team sent to the person's house. You know, as one does. The target of the swatting gave a false address. It was the home of a guy named Andrew Finch. The person who initially initiated the swatting hired an intermediary to do it for them. Tyler Barris. He was a essentialist, a swatting hitman with a reputation for calling in SWATs on behalf of people who don't want to get caught doing it themselves. And his Twitch handle was SWATtastic. Because he's a professional who believes in discretion, Barris called the Wichita police and reported that someone at Finch's house had shot their own father in the head and was holding the mother hostage. When Finch answered the knock at his door, a Wichita SWAT officer immediately pulled the trigger. Finch was unarmed and nonviolent. His friend says he didn't even play video games. Barris has been charged with involuntary manslaughter, giving false alarm, and interference with law enforcement officers. Finch's murder is suing the Wichita Police Department, and even with a cop's itchy trigger finger, there's no denying that Barris had instead called and asked if Finch's refrigerator was running. He would still be alive today. Swatting has become a dangerous trend, which, unlike the aforementioned Tide Partying, is actually happening and is actually harming people. California State Senator Ted Lieu, New Jersey State Assemblyman Paul Marotti, and Massachusetts Congresswoman Catherine Clark have all proposed anti-swatting legislation. All three have been swatted in response.
Well done, Sparky.
It wasn't that good.
I want to quote Antihero Broadcast because you're never going to hear him actually say this. Man, I'm doing battle with blood-sucking bugs, and Asshole is reading for me, and Sparky actually sounds cool. What the fuck is wrong with today?
The only thing I wish I could just read a little bit faster doing that.
No, you're reading at a perfect pace. It gives it gravitas, sir. Especially when you're reading about murder or something illegal, it makes it sound. It's that whole internal affairs kind of thing, or America's Most Wanted.
Okay. Well, continue doing it then.
Gentlemen, this next one is the worst one. I warn you ahead of time, those of you in the stream, as well as those of you in the audience, if you have a tender stomach or weak heart, you may wish to place the stream on silent. What we're about to read to you is graphic, silly, and above all, horrifically unnecessary. A scandal involving cops forcing nude photos from a teenage boy ended in suicide. Before I get into it, just know the story deals with the sexual molestation of a minor, so it's not going to be as rip-roaringly funny as swatting. 17-year-old Trey Sims sent a video of his penis to a 15-year-old girlfriend. In the state of Virginia, this paradoxically made him the creator and victim of child pornography. The detective assigned to the case, David E. Abbott, obtained a warrant to take pictures of Sims' penis to match it with the penis in the video, as if the police have a dick pic database that analyzes head to balls distance and pubic hair density to find a perfect match. But of course, all this is quite necessary, since it's so very difficult to identify a dick when it doesn't have a tattoo or a peg leg. Why the warrant wasn't contested from the start is a mystery.
Wait. They put a Porky's on him?
A what now, who?
A Porky's.
Yes. Another mystery is why, at one point, Abbott decided to start taking pictures of Sim's penis with his personal cell phone. Detective Abbott deemed the pictures insufficient because somehow Sims could not get erect with cops recording him masturbating, which they had asked him to do, so the pics would match the ones he was accused of sending. Wait, who is the law supposed to be protecting again? Anyway, Abbott asked for a second state-sponsored permission slip to photograph a teenager's erect penis. Abbott also threatened to force-feed Sims erectile dysfunction pills because he was determined to get a picture of his erect penis come hell or high water, goddammit. It was in fact granted, but then halted after Sims' lawyers made a big deal about the first dick pic photo shoot in the media, claiming the police had infringed upon Sims' Fourth Amendment rights. That's the one that prevents the government from conducting unreasonable searches and seizures, in essence calling James Madison an idiot for not foreseeing the need to include a line about the sovereignty of teenage dicks in the Constitution.
Hold on a second. $5 from Ben Cooper. Are you on their database, Antoine?
I did, in fact, anticipate the question and put forth a query earlier this week as to whether or not any members of this particular cast and crew were in the FBI's dick pic database. Antoine is, in fact, there, as well as Sparky, all members of the trio, and somehow Sarah.
What? Sarah, why are you in a dick pic database?
My secondary
You'll not
request for
leave.
information has not yet returned.
Sarah, you're not a leaf. Knock it off. That's copyright infringement.
Now, to continue. Charges against Sims were eventually dropped after he served probation. And with that out of the way, it was time to sue Abbott. But the focal point of the lawsuit shifted from Abbott to Claiborne T. Richardson II, the guy who approved both warrants. This shift happened after Abbott shot himself in his goddamn front yard right before the county police officer was going to arrest him on suspicion of molesting boys and his youth hockey coach. I just want to reiterate here, this story was barely a blip on the national media's radar. I will reread that small portion so as to let it sink in to the audience. Charges against Sims were eventually dropped after he served probation. And with that out of the way, it was time to sue Abbott. But the focal point of the lawsuit shifted from Abbott to Claiborne T. Richardson II, the man who approved both warrants. This shift happened after Abbott shot himself in his goddamn front yard, right before county police officers were going to arrest him on suspicion of molesting boys and he was a youth hockey coach. Ladies and gentlemen, the state of police in America. Sims' lawsuit was thrown out when a judge said that Richardson and Abbott were immune, since the Fourth Amendment surprisingly makes no mention of cops taking pictures of a teenager's penis. Everyone up and down the chain kept coming up with creative interpretations of the law to protect a dead detective who killed himself to avoid charges of molesting a minor. The common argument was that Abbott was just following orders, but he was the one who asked for the warrant. Has your head exploded yet? After 4 years of this shit, the Fourth Circuit Court sided with Sims. Finally decided that teenage wangs are in fact covered by the Fourth Amendment. See, everything is fine, nothing to see here.
So apparently Sarah has answered as to why she is in the dick pic database of the FBI. She said she was bored. I don't know why. I don't think she understands what. Sarah, that means you not that you were exploring the dick pic database. That you're in it. It means you have a penis, woman. See, Sparky's not the only one that kills jokes.
Hang on.
This didn't. God damn it, Sparky. Do you always have that up?
Yes, I do.
It's because so I can't see when you bring it up.
Oh no, you can see it's up. You can see in two different places. You can see in Steam and you can see in Discord. Because if you look in Discord, you'll see underneath my name, Sparky playing soundpad.
Yeah, I agree with Antihero. Sarah apparently is the futa of death. So, okay, I can't say that this last story didn't get national attention because I do remember reading about it. And I remember there was an uproar on Twitter, but I mean, come on. There's an uproar on Twitter whenever Trump, sneezes the wrong way. So there's not something completely missed about that. But yeah, I remember hearing about it.
Hey, Antoine. Sarah's answered you. Photoshop.
Ask Shade. Ask Shade what? Oh, that. Okay. Yeah. All right. Do we want to read about campfires, or do we want to read about the Girl Scouts?
Don't the two of those go hand in hand?
Yeah, but it's two different articles. I mean, I get the correlation. I don't think that the Girl Scouts started the campfires. I mean, I could be wrong. They're starting some sort of fire.
Yeah, that was a. I seen Baring do a video yesterday on it, and I got to look at the article. I was like, wow, I kind of seen this coming.
Wait, buffalo chicken was a poor choice. You fed the bed bugs buffalo chicken. Well, now they're hot blood sucking parasites. When they bite you, now it burns. All right, let's. They want the Girl Scout one. All right. Girl Scouts sue Boy Scouts over program's name change. Now this is going to be stupid. I know it is. The Boy Scouts have already allowed girls into the Boy Scouts. So they're no longer just the Boy Scouts. I'm assuming that's what this is about.
What it's about is a lot of left-leaning feminist progressives thought that Boy Scouts weren't being inclusive to girls, even though Girl Scouts have their own program.
Are there boys in the Boy Scout or in the Girl Scouts? Probably.
As far as I know, no. But no, they were screaming at the Boy Scouts because they weren't being inclusive to girls and letting girls in, and that the boys in Scouts seemed like it was showing sexism. So after enough bitching, whining, complaining, all that good shit, they finally got Boy Scouts to drop the name boy, and now it's just Scouts. All right. And now the Girl Scouts have a problem with it because it's starting to affect them. And guess what? All the people that were going after the Boy Scouts to change the name from Boy Scouts to Scouts and include girls ain't doing a goddamn thing to help them out.
Oh, color me shocked, Sparky. These are the same fucking morons that tell publishers to change things in books or fix things in goddamn video games. And then when the game dies and they're left with nothing because they followed the words of the people of the angry minority, they just go, oh, well, the game wasn't that popular. It must be because of sexism or because of not being, because gamer culture is just too harsh for people.
Now, let me put you like this. I've been Boy Scouts since I was really little. I went throughout all the ranks. I started out in Tiger Scouts, then I went to Cub Scouts, went all the way through Cub Scouts, got inducted into Boy Scouts, went all the way through Boy Scouts, got Eagle Scout, went through Order of the Arrow, got all 3 ranks in Order of the Arrow, got Eagle Scout when I was 12, and I've done a lot of stuff when I was in Boy Scouts, and it's drastically affected my life. And this was kind of a problem back then, but it wasn't being pursued like it was the last couple of years. And I'll say this much: in my troop, we had a couple scouts in the troop that had sisters, and we allowed them to join up. They wanted to do the same thing that the boys want to do. They want to go camping, earn merit badges, and do
everything like the boys did. And I'm still friends with, I think, 3 of those girls to this day. And they understood that they wasn't allowed to do some things. And they were okay with it. We still allowed them to participate. It was fine. But, to force the organization to do something like this, I kind of called it. Because at the end, girls do have their own program.
Yeah, they do.
And if girls don't like the stuff that the Girl Scouts are doing and want to do stuff more like what the Boy Scouts are doing, petition the Girl Scouts to change some things.
Nope, can't do that. That would actually be the smart thing to do. You have to make sure the other organization does what you want.
Anyways, I guess let's continue on to the article then.
Well, I have to agree with Zero Girl because he's got it right. Get woke, go broke. I know that slang is, that whole sentence is kind of quippy, but this is what's fucking happening.
I know. I hate seeing this happen, but in a way, it's good. It's good that maybe, Boy Scouts, the heads of Boy Scouts will get the heads out of ass and kind of go back to the old ways.
It won't happen. It's not going to happen, Sparky. All right. New York. The Girl Scouts of the United States of America filed a trademark infringement lawsuit on Monday against the Boy Scouts of America for dropping the word boy from its flagship program in an effort to attract girls. In the complaint filed in Manhattan Federal Court, the Girl Scouts claim the program does not have a right under either federal or New York law to use terms like scouts or scouting by themselves in connection with services offered to girls, or to rebrand itself as the Scouts. You're trying to take the girls from the Girl Scouts. We need to sell more cookies. You can't call them the Scouts because then the girls will go there. Oh God.
And that's exactly what's happening.
So it's not even that they're pissed because the Boy Scouts dropped the word boy.
And being more inclusive to girls.
Such misconduct will not only cause confusion among the public, damage the goodwill of the Girl Scouts of the United States of America's Girl Scout trademarks, and erode its core brand identity, but it will also marginalize the Girl Scouts movement by causing the public to believe that the Girl Scouts of the United States of America's extraordinarily successful services are not true or official scouting programs, but niche services with limited utility and appeal.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I was under the impression that the feminist movement was all about inclusivity and tolerance across a broad spectrum of equality.
Only if they agree with it.
Well, last I heard was not the feminist movement decrying the Boy Scouts of America, specifically because they focused on the boy portion of the Boy Scouts.
Yes, and the Boy Scouts dropped the boy, and the Girl Scouts now are shouting trademark.
The Girl Scouts, last I checked, were a major part of the feminist community. My point is, they did as they were asked, and now they are being sued for it.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes. Get woke, go broke.
This makes perfect sense.
It does, doesn't it? Like drinking directly from a bottle of bleach. That's what makes it. The Girl Scouts is among a number of major youth organizations in the nation seeing declines in membership in recent years due to competition from sports leagues and busy family schedules. Sports leagues that try and include women when people scream about it. And busy family schedules. Oh no, you mean families getting together and doing things, or trying to make time for each other. The organization argued that only it has the Only it has the right to use the Girl Scouts and Scouts trademark with leadership development services for girls. Sparky,
Yes.
when you were in the Boy Scouts, did they just call it the Scouts?
Yes and no. It we called it the scouting program. It's basically what it was. And I don't know how it is today because I haven't kept up with it, but I know back in my area, my neck of the woods, the Girl Scouts and the Boy Scouts actually kind of worked hand in hand.
I can't have that.
No, yeah, you can, and it works out pretty well. But
Real quick, $2 from Ben Cooper, and he speaks truth with this. Girl Scout cookies are legal crack.
oh god, I love the granola caramel chocolate. No, coconut. I can't remember what they are, but they have
Samosas.
coconut in them. Yeah, God, those are good.
I know.
But
I agree. Legal crack. Well, see, anti-hero, you just lost my respect. Girl Scout cookies are delicious.
that and Boy Scouts sold popcorn, Girl Scouts sells cookies. It's all good. But no, we the girls did different things in the Girl Scout program, and the boys did different things in the Boy Scout program. The Boy Scouts focused more on I don't want to say physical aspects, but more stuff like what boys would do.
Yeah.
And the Girl Scouts focused more on what girls would do because, I mean, really.
No, Sparky, are you kidding me? The boys did boy things and the girls did girl things? That is not allowed. It is current fucking year.
In this current fucking year. I'm talking about back. You gotta remember, this is back in like the 2000s, 1990s, 2000s. But no, and there was no issue. There was no trouble at all. And like I said, if the girls that the brothers were in Boy Scouts wanted to do some of the things that like the brothers were doing, like camping, archery, shooting guns, doing stuff like that, we allowed them to join along. There's been plenty of times when we went to Boy Scout camp, we had some of the Girl Scouts with us too. And they allowed them to come along. It was inclusive. They weren't a part of the Boy Scouts,
Yes,
but they were included.
It wasn't legally inclusive, Sparky. It wasn't that they were included in doing the programs, but they were not in the program. That's what you're failing to grasp. Now, because it's current year, the girls need to be allowed into it. They have to be able to, because anything a boy can do, a girl can do better.
Yeah. Hang on. I'll be back. Let me go grab some things. Continue talking.
Raz says, am I the only one that wants to put a bullet in the head of the person who coined the term it's current year? That would be Justin Trudeau. Did you hear about the time someone stole over $100,000 worth of Girl Scout cookies? Makes you wonder where was Antoine at the time. Hey, look, you cannot prove that I was there, Zeo Grove.
Justin Trudeau. Justin Trudeau, a man I have been paid and legally bound to not say anything bad about.
Oh, I haven't been paid or legally bound for anything, so I can call him a fucking moron.
He is a fine and upstanding Canadian citizen.
He's a sexual harasser that has a mother that abused him when he was younger. There.
With nothing more but the best interest of Canadian people, especially Canadian women, at heart.
Let me keep going with this.
A fine example of how all men should be, if only individuals such as the savage Beardbarian could learn from Justin Trudeau's example.
Yeah, but then Beardy would be the next Justin Trudeau, and we don't want that. No. We do want Beardy as the next Prime Minister of Canada. Yes, Beardbarian for Prime Minister. So, in a statement, To CBS News, the Girl Scouts said its actions were in keeping with standard practice in any field, and we did what any brand, company, corporation, or organization would do. The Boy Scouts said it was reviewing the lawsuit carefully. In a statement, the organization said, "We applaud every organization that builds character and leadership in children, including the Girl Scouts of the United States of America, and believe that there is an opportunity for both organizations to serve girls and boys in our community." See, that was low-key saying maybe the Girl Scouts should include boys. In May, the Boy Scouts, the program for 11 to 17-year-olds, announced it would change its name to Scouts BSA in February. The parent organization will remain the Boy Scouts of America and the Cub Scouts. Its program serving children from kindergarten through 5th grade will keep its title as well. The organization already has started admitting girls into the Cub Scouts, and Scouts BSA begins accepting girls next year. The Girl Scouts claim it has already been damaged by the name change announcement, saying that throughout the country, families, schools, and communities have been told that the GSUSA and the BSA have merged, or even that the GSUSA no longer exists. A point to that, most people believe that the Girl Scouts and the Boy Scouts are the same fucking company. That is not true. They are two different organizations. What they need to do is clarify that more. Parents interested in signing up for the Girl Scouts program have instead mistakenly signed up for the new girls program offered by the BSA. The complaint said the lawsuit seeks an injunction against trademark breaches and monetary damages. This is retarded.
No shit. Now, let's see. I'm going and yeah, if you want to present me real quick.
All right.
I'll try to do this without doxing myself because my Eagle box has my name on it. But that is one of about, what is it, 6 or 7 merit badge sashes I have to have full.
Jesus Christ, Sparky.
Hey, I said I was in Scouts for a while, and I did a lot of things. And I ended up getting this when I got my Eagle Scouts. And along with that, got this nice little medallion for Eagle Scouts. I have the certificate too, but I'm not going to show the certificate because it has too much information on it. But whenever I grew up, I was in 4-H and I was in Boy Scouts for a long, long time. I mean, since I was 1st grade until I graduated. And seeing this kind of disheartens me because, I mean, it was a good program. And it still is. It just needs different leadership. And it needs to stop bending its will to fucking social media and all these fucking extremist groups. I mean, when I was in Scouts, I got to do a lot of shit. Like, go to the 2001 National Jamboree, which was a blast. I got to see a lot of shit during that trip. I got to see the Twin Towers before they, like 2 months before they got attacked. Same with the Pentagon, White House, Statue of Liberty. Got to camp out for AP Hill, Virginia for 2 weeks. I mean, it was a cool trip. And seeing it attached like this, and I'm not attacked by the Girl Scouts. They have every right to do that. And I don't blame them, and I do encourage it because I do hope that it will get some people to fucking wake up. Like you said, it may not happen, but you can always hope. And, yeah.
I don't understand why. Okay, I really don't understand why it's such a big deal. You know, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, it's two different things. They do teach a lot of the same things. Girl Scouts have stuff that is geared towards the feminine sex. but it doesn't mean that they're not teaching the same type of what do they call it? Leadership building. They're teaching them to be on their own. On top of that, okay, so the Boy Scouts are now going to have girls in it. What are you going to do what's going to happen the very first time that there's some hanky-panky going on?
You get pink and blue. I mean, you get red and blue and get pink or purple or whatever that saying was. They use that same fucking terminology in 4-H. It's like you have the boys' rooms, which is blue, and you have the girls' rooms, which is red. We don't want purple.
My issue is that they want girls included in the Boy Scouts. Boy Scouts go camping, don't they? They go out.
Yeah. So do Girl Scouts.
Yes, but it's segregated, Sparky. We're talking about slapping together children whose hormones are raging in dark wilderness for the weekend by themselves. Because let's face it, the monitors, the escorts, they have to sleep at some point.
Yes and no. Usually in Scouts you'll have 3 or 4 leaders there, and they'll usually take turns during because they'll have watch out for the camps, and it is actually required to have watch out just in case something happened. See, I remember going with a new troop I joined in whenever my troop kind of went down under. But we went to go camp at Devil's Den in Arkansas. And I was one of the I can't remember what it was. It was I was one of the leaders, scout leaders in that trip. Not one of the adult leaders, just one of the special one. I can't remember the fucking term. But I was one of the elected leaders of the group, and the scoutmasters and us took turns watching, because that night we ended up having a lot of fucking rainfall, and we ended up having to break camp at like 3 a.m. to get away from rising water. So it's usually required to have somebody on watch for things like that to happen. So, but I mean, at the end of the day, you're right. You're completely right on that.
To quote Ian Malcolm, life finds a way.
That's not wrong. But no, Girl Scouts have essentially the same thing. They're just geared differently for women and for men, girls and boys. I mean, at the beginning, I still don't even know why it was a fucking issue. The only reason why it's an issue is because you have some girls go, oh, well, I want to be a part of Boy Scouts just because, and I don't want to be a part of Girl Scouts. And it's like, well, they have their own thing. Go do the thing with the Girl Scouts. Or at the end of the day, why not bring both together underneath the same program and build from the same program, but go into different paths, for one for boys and one for girls. There you go. And they have like an in between.
Yeah, but that's because the GS USA do not want to be brought under the Mormon umbrella, because I don't know if you know this, Sparky. The Boy Scouts of America are owned by the Mormon Church.
They might have been owned by the Mormon Church, but in my area, we didn't really pay much attention to that. Ours was mainly orchestrated with the local native tribes.
Oh, that's awesome.
We, you can think of Scouts more or less like a franchise, and that's all Scouts. That's Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts.
You still have to follow even with franchises. You still have to follow a specific set of standards.
Yeah, to a point. You got to follow through on the Scout book and all that other good stuff.
$10 from Ben Cooper. Plus, don't you think the female Scout members won't like living in tents for a week with only 2 adults, which are Scoutmasters, during the summer?
And that's the
It's
point.
a good point.
That's a good point. It really is, because I know most schools I went to school with. Oh well, I'll put my girlfriend as an example. She doesn't like camping one little fucking bit.
My idea
She
of camping is
refused.
Motel 6.
Yeah, well, and she refuses to use outhouses and latrines and stuff like that. And if you go camping, that's what you're gonna be using as a latrine or a tree somewhere in the woods,
Well, you just dig a hole in the ground.
or that too. But I again, I just don't see why it was an issue to begin with. I don't see why people in the media spearheaded, well, the Boy Scouts need to be more inclusive. Well, what about the Girl Scouts? I mean, it's like
I have the simple answer for you, Sparky. It's one word. That's all it is. It's just one word, simple explanation of why the media was pushing it. Equality. That's why.
yeah, well, tell that to the Girl Scouts.
All right, Sparky. You're a resident firefighter, yes?
Yes, I am.
Oh, good. And you get to read this article. But you have to do it in the voice.
Oh, god damn it. I like the name of the article, but I think they should have done a little bit different with the name, because campfire rages in California. It almost sounds like an erotica story almost.
Well, you are reading it in sexy voice, so let's go.
Anyways, I believe this is the fire that is Malibu's actually been evacuated.
Oh no, all the hoity-toity Malibuers had to leave their $1 million homes.
I believe Malibu's been evacuated. I read it somewhere. I can't remember if it's this far, but I think it is. But anyways.
Oh.
On November 8, 2018, the campfire erupted 90 miles, 140 kilometers north of Sacramento, California, as of 10 a.m. Pacific time. On November 9th, the fire had consumed 70,000 acres of land and was 5% contained or surrounded by a barrier.
Okay, if it's near Sacramento, no, it was not any. It's not Malibu.
Okay.
Malibu is Southern California.
All right, it's probably a different fire then. Probably the Hill and Woolsey fire.
Probably.
Because that's by LA, it looks like.
Yeah. All right. Continue on, sir.
The operational land imager on Landsat 8 acquired this image on November 8, 2018, around 10:45 a.m. local time. The image was created using Landsat bands 4, 3, 2 visible light, along with shortwave infrared light to highlight the active fire. The fire started around 6:30 a.m. PST, and by 8 o'clock p.m., it had burned 20,000 acres of land.
There you go.
Strong winds pushed the fire to the south and southwest overnight, tripling its size and spreading smoke over Sacramento Valley. The moderate resolution image spectrometer on NASA's Terra satellite captured the natural color image above on November 9th. The high resolution rapid refresh smoke module, using data from a National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, and NASA satellites showed the smoke should continue to spread west. The image also shows 2 more fires in the southern California, the Hill and Woolsey fire. More than 2,000 personnel have been sent to fight the campfire, which is predicted to be fully contained by November 30th. Firefighters are having difficulty containing it due to strong winds, i.e. the Santa Ana winds, which fan the flames and carry burning vegetation downwind. The area also has heavy and dry fuel loads or flammable materials. State and local officials have closed several major highways, including portions of Highway 191. They're also ordered to evacuate in several towns, including Concow and Paradise, where the fatal fire burned through the town. That's about it. I did look this article up, and I couldn't really find a good article on it. I couldn't remember which one it was, but that first image, I guess you can't zoom in on it anymore. But you can. They use infrared satellites along with.
I mean, I can get there. There you go.
Yeah, you can see the flames. That is a lot of fire.
So anyone in this area is practically dead. This is dead.
Yeah. This fire, it's probably moving anywhere from, if it's tripled in size overnight, it's probably moving 10 to 15 miles an hour. That's how fast this fire is moving. Probably faster in downhill areas.
God damn it. Look, Anubis isn't in the chat. He wants me to share the thing. I know he does.
Who's that?
Alex Alexson apparently got a hold of something.
Okay. Well, let's see what Alex Alexson has to share.
Remember how I said that I'm in the public sphere and I can't really do anything about someone who uses my image for something?
Yeah.
That's this right here. Anubis, otherwise known as James, or the way that I know him, the Potato Avenger, requested this picture. And actually
am I looking at?
And actually paid for it. So it is me in a ball gag as a cat girl with magic girl abilities, which is, I'm assuming that's why there's fairy wings, with zombies and a bacon fetus.
That's just disturbing.
I blame James Jones, which no one can get mad at me for saying that name since it was his YouTube name.
I do believe that you may have forgotten one of the most important parts of this particular piece of imagery.
That there's a ball gag?
He also requested that it be drawn in a certain style, one reminiscent of the Thundercats Roar adaptation, which is based heavily on the Steven Universe artistic style.
What he said. So when I said James Jones, I'm not doxing him at all. That's what his YouTube name was for the longest time.
That's not his real name.
I know it's not his real name, but I don't care. Making sure people understand that. He paid Antihero to make that picture. And now Alex Alexson has shared it with the world.
How much did he pay you?
He didn't pay me anything.
Well, how much did he pay Antihero?
I don't know.
You would have to ask Antihero that. He is not currently present.
So
It was probably $5.
I don't know what to do with that picture. I don't know what to do with the image. It's just kind of burned into my brain.
Oh, I know what to do with it. You share it on all forms of social media you can and tag
Shut up, Swaki. Do not do that. No.
You know, by saying don't do that, people are just gonna do it, right? But anyways, no, I can't remember what file it was, but I was reading about it, and I've got it. I shared it on my Twitter a little bit, but yeah, the town of Malibu is being evacuated. I thought it was this fire, but I guess it isn't. And yeah, it's some of the images I've seen. It's went through a couple of towns in California, and they're decimated.
I mean, I feel bad for them. I really do. But you know, it's Southern California after a very hot summer. There's no fall. It just goes from fucking summer to winter, and people are stupid.
Yeah, and I do believe the time of year from August to late November, probably early December, the Santa Ana winds are really, really bad.
Yeah.
And the Santa Ana winds are just dry, high force winds.
Yeah, they can get upwards of 60 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Which doesn't sound like a lot, but imagine driving your car at 60 and it being constant wind.
Oh, no. The wind speed, depending on the wind speed, will triple a fire's rate of spread. So, say if you got a regular fire going about, say, a couple feet a minute, if a wind gust picks up for about 20 miles an hour, the speed of that fire can get up to about 40 miles an hour. It can double it. And the worst thing of all is fire will generate its own weather, and coupled along with outside weather like that makes it worse. So, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Wildfires are more dangerous than structure fires because they're unpredictable.
So
you can somewhat predict a structure fire. If you can figure out the structure and what's in it, you can pretty much figure out what a structure fire would do and how to fight it. A wildfire, however, there's no predicting it because you can't account for the weather. As you were saying?
Well, I was going to say, in completely unrelated news, I just checked Twitter, and there's something pretty bad going on.
Pretty bad? What? It's Twitter.
Well, yeah. Apparently, Sargon just tagged the FBI and basically called Andy Warski a pedophile. If that's Sargon. I don't know.
It's not. Sargon's handle is the something Warded. I can't remember his account tag, but he already tagged Andy Warski once.
Oh.
And then you had Andy Warski. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff happened this last week, and I've kind of followed along with what's been going on. Not all of it, but a good majority of it. Whenever I've seen Andy stream kind of dogging on Sargon. Now, they claimed that they had a voice clip of Sargon and V saying that Sargon was the one that fled the Balfour Tour. And he's the one that got Wall Street Journal involved with getting the account taken down.
Okay.
Well,
hold on a second. Hold on. Cinder Shadow says Sargon's handle is Backwoodsman1.
Yeah.
He did not tag him. He retweeted a tweet. So I just want to clarify that's not Sargon. So anyone who is spurging out about what Sargon believes and things like that and goes on a SJW type Twitter rant, they're wrong.
Yeah. But anyways, yes, that was his name, is Backwoodsman1. But Nobody's heard this voice clip except for supposedly Andy, Rappaport, a couple other people, Mr. Medica, all of them. But it's never been revealed to anyone that they're saying this to. V came out and said it was an utter lie. So did Sargon. And they're basing their claims also on for the fact that Sargon retweeted, posted a tweet, and tagged people in it. And that was the evidence of, oh, well, he flagged it because he's for them. And for the fact that Sargon didn't cover what happened to the Ralph retort.
Okay. So, Backwoodsman won? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure that's Sargon?
Yeah, it has some sort of old man. It looks like a philosopher as his icon. Backwoodsman. I've got the account brought up now. I'll post the @ sign in the chat. That is his @ sign.
Oh, Backworldsman.
Yeah, Backwoodsman.
Okay, I was going to say Backwoodsman only,
No,
has
it's not Woodman.
five, only has 5 tweets. Okay. That looks better.
But let me scroll through here and see if I can't find the tweet that does saying that is the proof.
Okay, so there's only this is what happens when I can't follow Twitter and YouTube. So what's been going on? I mean, we only have like 15 minutes left, so give us a rundown, Sparky.
I did.
Well, give us a more in-depth rundown.
That's about it. I mean, nobody's the same. It's an Andy Taka situation. And they're basically doing this for Sargon. There is no proof except for actions that Sargon have done, which has been retweeting and tagging certain people. Him not covering what happened to the Ralph retort in depth, and a supposed voice clip that hasn't been shown to anyone. That they said that they were going to show, but haven't shown.
Why does it matter that he isn't covering what happened with the Ralph retort?
Oh, I know. I've always stated that as much as like, hey Ralph, your entitlement showing. But yeah, it's fuck. I can't find the goddamn tweet. But apparently, Sargon tagged. I think the Wall Street Journal. He tagged FBI. Tagged a couple other people. What was happening with this to Andy after what happened to Ralph retort. And Andy thinks there was a way and matter to try to get him flagged off of YouTube. And it's like, Andy, there's over 100,000 people that subscribe to you. There's over 1,000 to 2,000 that watches you at any one point in time. It could be any one of them. It doesn't have to be a big YouTuber. It could be the significant little pissant that decides to go hit the flag button on your channel.
Ben Cooper asks, isn't Warski getting most of his information from Geek Thulu?
Yes.
So Geek Thulu, who is a shit stirrer, the same one that jumped on the Kumite and things like that. This is why I stopped paying attention to this shit. It's stupid.
No shit. I've said this before, and they're just going back and forth, and that's all it is. Let me look at Andy's.
I mean, Andy Warski decided to stop doing comedy and start doing a daily show, which is fine, and he got popular. But he's, I don't know, on crack or something. Like, I don't know what happened.
He acts like it. He really does act like it. And it was like,
okay, I'm kind of with Andy a little bit on the whole Tonka Andy deal, but the more this is going on, the more he's doing. It's like you're just as bad. You're just as bad. Oh, where's this fucking tweet at? God damn it. They've went through and they've deleted a lot of this shit. Everyone has. But no, that's kind of the download of what's been going on. And it's like, okay. And another thing, Andy was talking shit on Sargon and wouldn't let him come on to defend himself, and told Sargon that directly in chat. And it's like, no, I'm gonna talk shit on you. I'm not gonna allow you a chance to come on and defend yourself.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
That's a good precedent.
yeah. Now, I like Sargon. I also liked Andy, and I still like Andy to a point. Tonka, not so much, but he makes good points every now and then when he's got his head out of his fucking ass. I don't have a problem with all three of them. I do have a problem when they think they want to get big dick syndrome and trying to show everyone how big the dick is, when in fact they have a micro penis so tiny it makes Vlad look like a gigantic, huge fucking cock.
Sparky throwing shade. Jesus.
Well, when you want to act like autistic spugs on the internet, I don't care how fucking big they are. I mean, the only one that's really been acting mature in this whole deal has been Sargon to a point. I mean, you got Ralph Retort making fun of Sargon, Sargon's kid being stillborn.
See, I didn't know that happened. That's not cool.
Yeah, oh yeah, he lost his son. His son's stillborn, and you got a lot of people. And he's making fun of it. So is a couple other people.
That's not.
Saying that it's good it happened and worse needs to happen to you. And it's like, what the fuck?
I want to make this statement clear. I'm all for dark humor. I tend to draw the line at dead baby jokes. I don't think they're funny. Especially that's me, though. That's my opinion. If you think dead baby jokes are funny, that's fine.
Yeah, but no, you got. I think the only ones that really acting mature about it is Sargon and Medica. But even to a point when you see Sargon and Medica's interactions with each other,
oh, they can't stand each other.
Yeah, they can't stand each other, and the only thing Medica can say is he's a snake, and that's it. He can't bring any good points. And then Sargon tries to hit the point on the head, then turns around and tries to make a joke out of it. So it's like, okay. And not once have I seen Sargon actually try to go after anyone intently. I see him defending himself. I don't see him starting shit like Andy has or Ralph Retort has. He's just reacting to what's been happening, and he has his right to do that. I mean, I like to hear this voice clip, but no one's been able to fucking provide it. So they'll go off the pretenses of, okay, there's this voice clip, and you got Sargon tweeting out these different people trying to get Andy removed off the platform, like with Ralph Retort, and shows these tweets, and it's like, okay, so he's retweeting people and tagging people. That's your base claim for this? I don't even see anything wrong with it.
If all he's doing is retweeting people, it's not like he's going out and doing it himself.
And tagging people.
I don't know. I'm not.
We got $10 from Ben Cooper.
Hold on. Well, read it.
Well, I figured I'd let you, but I listened to Tonka. All right.
$10 from Ben Cooper. I listened to Tonka on Friday. Andy brought Sargon on, told him to fuck off, kick him off the show, and stop the stream right after that on Friday. Well, I mean,
Yeah, and see, that's no. He tagged the FBI. He did tag the FBI in one tweet. I did see it. It's not on the fucking post anymore, but it's on a stream somewhere. I'm not gonna go back and try and find it on that stream. But he did tag the FBI, and he did use a couple of the hashtags and retweeted it with Andy Worsky on it about what happened about what. And it wasn't even a vague threat. It wasn't even anything. He was just being humorous.
Well, this will sort itself out.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I can't find it. Send a Shadow. I've looked through Andy's. I looked through Rouse. I looked through Sargon's. I can't find the tweet. It's gone. So.
All right. Well, it is about that time, ladies and gentlemen. Is there anything else we'd like to talk about?
Not in the moment, but I do want to tell Send a Shadow something. It doesn't matter if he did or didn't tag anyone. Point is, even if he did, it's still nothing. So,
What is that?
I just want to listen to the fucking audio clip that is apparently between V and Sargon, and both V and Sargon says there's no clip, and nobody's played a clip, nobody shared a clip, nothing.
Wait, you're asking for proof?
Yes, I'm asking.
They're not giving proof, but they want them to believe that there's this proof.
Yep.
That sounds oddly familiar. All right, ladies. It's so sad when a former co-host turns into an SJW. Anyway.
Oh, what?
I'll tell you later, Sparky.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for taking your time and listening to everything. This has been Caffeinated to Die. My name, of course, is Anton the Great. I have been joined by my normal co-host, Sparky from Sparky's Tech Corner. And we had a special guest today, Alex Alexson, formerly of the BBC, formerly of Dateline, formerly of CBS. Can't believe he actually took the time out to actually be a host on this show.
Believe me, it was more of a pleasant experience for you than it was for me.
I'm assuming.
Hang on. Time out.
What?
Yeah, I'm gonna put this in the. I'm gonna put this on the side. Apparently, that's the clip.
That's not a clip. I listened to it. It's basically saying that that's his. If it's the same one that Cinder Shadow sent me, I listened to the clip. It's just Sargon saying that his handle is BackWorldsman1.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's telling people who he is on Twitter. Good fucking God.
Anyways, since he couldn't tag you after we talked about it, there it is. So everyone can look at it from themselves.
All right. But I hope you join us all next week, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thank you for joining us, Alex. I hope you didn't get too bad of egg on your face.
No. We all must be humbled on occasion. With any luck, there will not be a repeat of this terrible debacle.
Oh, I'm already talking to your agent through emails. He might want you to come on again.
I may have to get a new agent.
It's up to you. So thank you all for joining us. Remember, Army of Snarkness is not tomorrow. It's going to be Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where we are going to be reading some of the cringiest shit that you have ever seen or heard. And hopefully, maybe be able to get new people on. So thanks very much once again. Have a good day, everybody. And remember, caffeinate or die.